you know, if you are sexy, you will get nailed and you will nail it.
Well, Ginger, Bad Sandy, whoever you are today, fantastic. You slayed this season all season long, not one misstep really. What do you attribute that to? Was it really just letting go and having fun?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the key to everything in life if you want to be successful. And I proved it to myself having gone into season 7, not expecting anything. So I did pretty well. Went into All Stars 2 and tried to edit myself and be what I thought everybody else wanted me to be, and got sent home almost immediately. And this time when I went back, I went, you know what? I'm just going to be me because I love me for the first time in my whole life. I know that I'm a fun girl and I'm just going to attack every challenge that way. And I think that that's why I have been so successful on this season, because I've just gone and done me.
And is that the biggest difference from Ginger season 7 and Ginger All-Star 6?
Well, listen, Ginger season 7, I don't even know that girl. My grandmother always had this saying, you can never truly see yourself until you see yourself through somebody else's eyes. And season 7 was that extra set of eyes. I got to kind of look in on my life and go, you are so hurt and you're so scared and you have so much that you're trying to take care of in your own mind that you can't get out of your own way. So with this, it's been wonderful because I feel like I truly do know myself for the first time. I feel like I really love myself for the first time. And I've gotten such a positive response from the fan base this time because for the first time, it's really just me.
And your grandmother was RuPaul. That's fantastic to know.
Great grandmother.
Great grandmother, of course. And your finale verse was incredible. We saw a new side of Ginger, really sexy, nailing it and comfortable. Were you surprised about the ease you were ready to pop that booty back and like serve sex siren?
Well, if you are sexy, you will get nailed and you will nail it. I enjoyed it. I wanted to go into this season and do things that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with before. And being a sex kitten was something that was very outside of my comfort zone. I wanted to be pushed. I wanted to do new stuff and try to discover a different side of me. And I felt sexy. You can cover me in rhinestones and sequins all day because that's what I do. But I don't typically throw it back the way that I did. Don't tell my husband that. He'll probably disagree.
And the transformation from rehearsals to the stage was amazing. You were a little uncomfortable in rehearsals, and then on the stage, never missed a beat, nor a booty pop, nor a cheek left unpopped.
Well, I think that my uncomfortability was the fact that I was actually uncomfortable. My body hurt. I didn't think that my back would do those things or my knees would allow me to do those things. Eureka's not the only one of this top 4 that's had knee surgery. So I'm getting up there. This is almost 10 years. It's 7.5 years since my first season. And I definitely feel every day of those 7 years. So I was kind of in my head thinking, I don't know if I get down, if I'm going to be able to get back up. But you know what? Sometimes when you do get kicked down, you have no choice but to get back up.
Your finale dress was just so fashion amazing. Tell me a little bit about what went into that and why you wanted to pick this type of dress.
Well, it's over 70 yards of fabric went into that dress. And my best friend, Gidget Galore, she and I, we only had each other during quarantine. We were together doing digital shows and try to raise money just to put food on the table. So we were forced to get really resourceful even before I got the call to go back to All Stars. And once I got that call, we said, okay, we want to do something that is maybe kind of traditional Ginger, but in a very different way. And she took this fish bowl and she turned it upside down. She's like, this is the only thing that's shaped like you are. She turned this fish bowl upside down and started taking random scraps of fabric and cutting them into squares and cutting holes and laying them all this way. And she said, all right, we have 70 yards of fabric somewhere in this garage. We're going to find colors that go together and we're going to make something fabulous. And I have a picture. I'm going to DM it to you later. I have this video clip of me having to lay down on top of the skirt so she could attach it to the bodice. It is the heaviest, biggest, bulkiest thing in the world. And coming from me, that says a lot. But I was so proud of what we were able to create literally with nothing.
Wow, it was like a Joseph and the Amazing Ginger's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. And who was your biggest confidant this season on the show? Who really sort of was your emotional helper throughout the season?
You know what is so weird to say is it was Eureka. And I say that because Eureka and I, we have a very rocky history. We haven't always gotten along. And I think being forced to be in the same room, in the same orbit, and to work together so hand in hand, it really made us realize that the reason we hadn't gotten along was not because of us. It was because the fan base had said, oh, two sassy plus size Southern girls, there can only be one. And so they would pit us against each other. And we kind of took that to heart. And whenever it was just us and we were talking and we were sharing our experiences in the room and from our past, we realized how much we had in common. And it was really nice to be able to bend her ear when I wasn't feeling too good, or to be there for her when she was having a rough day. It was very surprising, but it was lovely.
Seeing the diversity in the top four was just so beautiful to watch as a viewer. Did you feel that looking around the top four? You're like, wow, what a diverse group of queens. This is amazing.
Yeah, you know, representation is very important. And it doesn't matter who you are. If you can't look into to media, into movies and television and Broadway and all that, and see yourself represented, then you feel like you're not important and you don't exist. And while I went into this going, I should win because I'm talented, it was also this weight on my very broad shoulders saying, you also need to represent for these people who don't feel seen and don't feel like they have a voice in this community. And a couple of people have reached out and they said, you know, it's really nice to see somebody who is so confident about who they are and what they're capable of. And a lot of times, you know, bigger people, they have to work twice as hard for half of the credit. And it was really nice to be celebrated. And sometimes for being plus size and sometimes, you know, despite it and all of that. So being a part of such a diverse top four it's very emotional. It's something I'm very, very proud of. And I know that I keep rambling on, girl, and you can cut me off anytime. But I just want to say, like, overall with this cast, you know, this is my third time going back, my third cast that I've been a part of. I've never been a part of a group of girls who are so invested in each other. And, you know, we've had this group chat. We talk to each other all day, every day. And we have since, you know, filming ended, and we've got each other's backs. And that's not always the case. And I think it had a lot to do with the pandemic because we were just happy to be around other people and doing something we enjoyed. But it really brought us together. And I'm very proud to be a part of this entire cast, not just the top four.
That makes me so happy that it was real, you know, supporting of each other, because it looks like you guys are happy for each other. And there was, you know, not a lot of shade thrown. It was a lot of positive energy.
I'm going to tell you, the shady moments probably weren't as shady in person because we were just so excited to be with somebody, to hug somebody, to perform, you know, not from the up in front of our camera, not knowing if a joke was landing or not. It was really nice to just kind of feel normal for a little bit.
And what was your favorite moment of the season? And what was one moment where you personally struggled?
I struggled every day. And I know that, you know, I have a good game face and a nice rest face. I can sit in the back and seem like I'm unbothered, but I was really nervous going into every single day because I've been on like the winning side and the losing side. And I know how both of those feel. I know how it feels just to be safe. Like even when you're safe, you're not safe. And I wanted to make sure that I was pushing myself to be better and better and better. I think the moment that I'm most proud of is, you know, I loved Snatch Game and that was great. It was in my wheelhouse, so I am proud of that. But I think the one I'm most proud of is probably the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent monologues, where I forced myself to go outside of my comfort zone of always trying to be funny and silly and deliver jokes and really just kind of share my story and share my truth. And I can't tell you the overwhelming response that I've gotten on social media and from people that I've seen out in person that come up to me and they're like, your story, it really struck me because there's a lot of similarities in my life, or I wish that I had had something like that. And it's important. It reminded me, like, we're there, yes, to compete and win a crown and money and all that, but we're also there just to share the story and to let people know that they're not alone and they're not weird, even if they're different.
And would you say that that was your biggest takeaway for you as a performer, as an artist, was just sort of like be in that moment and, you know, not throw jokes and be your authentic self while you're on stage?
Now, I cannot not throw jokes. I love a good dad joke. I love a pun, and it comes to my mouth before I can stop myself. It's already out. So it didn't teach me not to do that, but it did reaffirm to me that, you know, if you're real, if you're authentic and you just go out there and live your life the way that you know you should, people will respond to that because they will see themselves in you. And if you try to go in there and yes, God, okay, and be everything that you think the fan base wants or the drag race wants, people can see that that's not real and that they will never connect to it. So it was really reassuring to me that I'm on the right path and I'm doing the right thing.
The game within a game. And the game within a game, Ginger, your face particularly was so amazing. What were you feeling in that moment?
The game within a game. So, you know, they pop on the screen and they go, I told you on day one, there was a game within a game. And the rest of us are looking around like, did she say that? I don't remember. I didn't really I should have read through this contract. That's what Raja said. I'm going to read the fine print better next time. We thought that these girls were packing up and going home. We had no clue. They were all like secluded somewhere else and they were going to come in and maybe somebody could knock us out of the competition. It's never fun to not feel safe. And it felt like, okay, we've earned our spot in the top 4. We're going to move forward and see who wins from there. And they threw us a curveball. So yeah, it didn't feel good, but it was also really nice to watch a drag show. You know, I think like the anxiety of it kind of went out the window right into the first performance because we were like, yes, oh, this is what I've missed. I'm so happy to be back. Yeah, can I tip them? What's their Venmo? You know? So it was just nice to watch our sisters do what they do.
And you've had so much success coming out of Drag Race. What is next for Ginger? What other worlds are you going to conquer? I want to see you everywhere. The fans want to see you everywhere. Where can we see you?
Well, you know, I've been in PTown all summer. I've broken all box office records there, which has been really nice for me. Every show is completely sold out, adding more and more and more. So I'm there through my birthday, September 11th. If you want to come and see me, I would love to see you there. Wear a mask, you know, be responsible. Mm-hmm. I just released my first single from my country album, which is coming out. It's called Double White Diva. The first single is called Walk Tall, and that was based on the story that I got to tell during the Charisma, Uniqueness, Nerve, and Talent monologues. It's got an incredible response. You know, I'm a country girl, and I always wanted to sing country music, but you know, the country world has this immediate opposition to drag, and typically the drag world has this immediate opposition to country. So I had to figure out a way to make it authentic on both sides, and the response has been great. So that's coming out on September 17th. I've got some movies coming out. I'm working on some TV stuff, and of course my tell-all memoir I just sold. So I can't wait for that to come out as well. There's so much. There's really just a lot. Just go to gingerminge.com and I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Great. And with the PTown show, have you added in some things from this season? What new things after this show have you added in or incorporated to the show? Are you speaking to the audience more?
Well, you know, I learned throughout the season, like I told you, just to kind of trust myself and to go out there and have fun. And that's what my PTown show is all about. I have an opening number and I have a closing number. Those are the only things that are planned. The rest of it is audience interaction. They get to pick the songs that I sing. So I'm always on my toes. I'm always having to really think about the next step before I make it. And it's a different show every night, which has been really, really fun for me because nobody wants to get stuck doing the same old thing over and over.
That is amazing, Ginger. So go to gingerminge.com, everybody. She is taking over the drag world. She already has. And thank you so much for all your amazing performances. It was more than a joy to watch you this season, and congratulations.
Thank you for loving me.
I do. Bye, Jen. Have fun.
Bye, baby. Thanks.